All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Content with Content. This is episode 2. I am Renatus TTV, and I have with me today, or tonight, I should say, AlphaZero TTV. Make sure and check out his Twitch, check out his YouTube. I'll leave links for all that in the YouTube description. But yeah, so tonight we're going to be doing pretty much the same thing that we did a couple weeks ago with Iceman, also known as Jason Bennett. Just kind of going to be talking about just what it's like to be a content creator and to start that up, and just going to use these episodes as kind of like an introduction as to what this podcast is and what content creation is to myself and to the guests that we have on. So I hope you enjoy it, and I guess with that, we'll just get right into it. So, hi, Ian. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Actually, I can't complain. I can't complain.
It's been nice. It's all right. I mean, during the time right now, it's nice. It's not bad.
Yeah. It could be a lot worse, that's for sure.
Yep.
So, why don't you kind of tell everybody kind of like who you are, what you do, that kind of thing.
So like more personal or just like in general, like
just
as a content creator?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Who is AlphaZero?
So AlphaZero is a symbiote robotic person who's been sent here by the aliens to make the best content. No, I'm just kidding. No, I started up doing some of the stuff like 3-4 years ago. Kind of fell away from it, and I shouldn't have. I should have stuck with it because it was something that made me really happy. And so now I kind of just try to come out with some of the funniest, silliest content that I can, and just try to be out there and try to make people laugh, because as like a viewer watching other people's stuff, I like to laugh. So I want people to laugh along with me.
Cool. All right. Well, that's AlphaZero in a nutshell. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you.
No, but all right. Thanks for that. I feel it's good to kind of let everybody kind of get to know both sides. Some of these people may know who you are, but not know who I am. And some of these people may know who I am, but not who you are. It just feel it's good to kind of open up with this. I'll tell a little bit about myself. So I go by Renatus. Most of my tags are Renatus TTV. I am a gamer, a content creator, just kind of getting started in the process, and I wanted to kind of start this podcast just to kind of document the journey of becoming a full-time content creator or streamer, because that is my goal. It's a passion of mine. I mean, I love video games. I love meeting new people, hanging out with people online, playing video games with people. It's just one of my favorite things to do. And so that's kind of who I am. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into some of these questions. The last episode was about an hour, kind of estimating, maybe shooting for that, maybe a little less. I can always edit stuff out in post, so it's really not a huge deal.
Right.
But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started in that. So just to kind of get the groundwork for this conversation that is forthcoming. I don't know why I just said forthcoming, but it is what it is. I guess this is 1776. So what in your experience so far in your time creating content creation, what have been some of the struggles that you've gone through as not only as like a person or as a content creator, but just overall, what have been some of the biggest struggles related to creating content and having that passion and wanting to make that something more than just a hobby?
So what I think is that there's a lot of people out there that really want to excel, and they want, like, I don't really do this more or less because I want to get big and like make money from sitting at home and playing video games. What I want is like to build that community and have like those people behind me that always want to come out and hang out and chill and have a good time and do whatever we want to do and play games with each other. But what I see also is that people want things like that, but they don't actually want to put in the effort. So the first step of the whole thing is not making time, or like sitting on the couch and being like, hey, I really want to do this. And it's like, then why don't you go do that? Like, and they're like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow I'll get to it. And then they just keep pushing it off. People just don't like sit down and try to make time to do it. That's a big thing for me on the YouTube side. Because I love streaming. It's just like raw. It's easy. You don't have to edit anything. But when it comes down to YouTube and everything, or even like TikToks and things like that, editing takes a big time or a big chunk of time. But then on top of that instance too, not only making time for it for yourself, but you also have other priorities until you can go full time. So you've got your own personal job, you've got your own family, you've got a lot of things going on outside of your stream and outside of your YouTube channel that no one really thinks about or sees, that you still have to be able to prioritize as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. It is all about balance. You know, if you can't balance the things in your life that are necessary while also focusing on your dreams and your goals, then it's a hard road, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really good. I like that.
Thank you. Do I get an A?
So, nah, not yet.
Okay.
So, you mentioned video games and talking about not doing this out of just wanting to, you know, be able to sit there and play video games all day, or, you know,
10
whatever.
hours a day.
Right. And I mean, as cool as that sounds, I'm sure it has its ups and its downs. So why don't we talk a little bit on that topic of just kind of video games and streaming? What in the industry is catching your eye right now in the video games / streaming industry? What is something that that made you want to start doing this?
It's because I don't have any friends. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I was sitting there one day and I was like, you know, I see all these guys on Twitch streaming, and I think maybe part of me started it just because I kind of wanted to, you know, have that full-time job and just sit at home and play video games.
Right.
But like, I don't, like, it was so long ago for me. Now, why I got back into it was because I wanted to build the community. Like, this was in the past, like, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months that I finally got back into this, and, you know, actually sticking with it, my channel's grown exponentially more than what it was before. But like, trying to think back to 4 years ago, I kind of just like, it was like, I kind of want to try this. Like, I think that I'm funny. I know I'm not, and I know other people don't think I am, but I'm going to try to be funny, and then I'm going to try to have people come out. And then I really wanted to make like rage compilations, because that was like, even like within the past like 2010s, like compilations of like rage or like cool shots and things like that were a big deal. Right. So I kind of wanted to make stuff like that. I never really had like
so kind of just like the more humorous side of it.
Yeah. And you'll still see that in a lot of like my videos and content and stuff. Like I still try to hit those, you know, not really dad jokes, but I try to make some dry humor happen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it, I don't know, in a way that's almost better than when you're actually like trying to be funny. It's all, or I don't know, I guess that is trying to be funny. Like when it seems like you're trying to be funny, but you're not actually trying to be funny. Like those kinds of things. I feel like those are just hilarious to me. Like you mentioned dad jokes. I think
right.
that's
I'm trying to be like a bad type of funny, to where like I know I can be funny and I've got one-liners out the butt and everything, but like I'm trying to like make you like, oh, did he really just say that? Oh my god, this guy is crazy. Right. That's kind of what I wanted.
Definitely. So I know this is something that you probably have a lot to talk about. What is how do I say this? What have been some of the obstacles you've had to overcome finding the materials to do this, to whether it be buying the actual PC or, getting used to new hardware and software or a new program that you had to learn how to do? What have been some of the big kind of milestones that you've came across in that aspect?
So when I first started streaming, I was on a PlayStation that would just stream straight to Twitch, have an overlay for itself, not have to worry about anything. I've got the hardware and everything there already. I could go to GameStop and buy a PS4 camera for 30 or 40 bucks, get myself a little camera set up with that 200p camera that they give you, and then try to do something with that. But going from console to PC and actually trying to do something, not only, and it's a good investment. I personally, my computer is worth about $1,000, if not a little bit over. But it's, that dedication and time, the buying the one piece of hardware at a time with my paycheck, because I knew that in 2 months from now, I'll finally have a computer built. And for me, software has been mostly my thing. I've never really been a big hardware guy. And so having to build my own PC by myself and learn all of the pieces and learn how to actually build it, and then so you built your computer and you loaded up your Windows. Well, now you just have a blank computer. Now you got to do something with it.
Right.
And it's more than just streaming. You gotta, if you're making videos and whatnot, you've got X amount of editing softwares that you use, or your thumbnail creator that you use, or just there's so many things that go into it that I had to educate myself with and try to overcome wanting to do something and knowing nothing about it, to within 2 or 3 months having to almost know everything about it to do it.
Right. Yeah, because if you want to do this, you got to go all out with it. Putting content up that's just subpar in a world like the world that we live in, it's not going to cut it. Your content would have to be either 100% original and unique, or would have to be the funniest thing on planet Earth.
Right. That's why I try to mix, incorporate stuff with one of my favorite streamers was Doc, doing things that like I said, it went back to the Rage compilations and stuff, but I mix all that in now with streaming and everything, rage a little bit, tell a bunch of jokes, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
And not get disheartened when you're sitting on a stream and you've only got 6 or 7 or 8 viewers the entire stream out of 5 hours, or you put a video up on YouTube and it's only got 20 views in the past 20 days. It's just about the grind, and that if you keep putting out the content consistently and consecutively throughout the week up until a year period or a 2-year period. And that's what a lot of the bigger streamers say. They're hey, I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years now. In the first 2 years, I was at the bottom of the barrel, had nothing. So I kind of always keep that in mind, because I know that this isn't going to happen overnight, and it's been a slow grind the past couple months, but it's getting somewhere where I actually like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So being at a point where, obviously we're going to continue to grow, and things, our YouTube videos are going to get better, our thumbnails are going to get better, everything's going to get better, our setup's going to get better, the whole thing is going to improve. But with that, what do you have to say, or what's your input on investing in yourself? Because we invest a lot of time and money into these programs and the software, and time and money into building the PC, and cleaning it regularly, keeping it up and running, just regular maintenance stuff that you do. How does investing in back into yourself as a person play into that?
I mean, that's kind of a deep question. Jeez, I wasn't ready for this. So within the realm of this whole PC and everything else like that, I find it, for myself, personal gratification, and it does something to me, because I'm trying to make content, and when I see people enjoy it, even if it's just 1 or 2 people, it kind of gives it back to me, hey, I'm doing something right. Just helping people smile or helping them laugh is what I want to do. But then I guess if we're talking about like real world application, it makes you persistent. It makes you a hard driver. Like it makes you put your nose to the grindstone in almost everything you do. Because if I can sit here for 2 years and try to stream and try to get big off of this and try to build a community, then I should be able to do anything I can in life because I've putting all this time and effort in this. That means anything else that approaches me or like any problems that come my way in real life, I should be able to hit head on because of my persistence.
Yeah, just the dedication that is required to do this.
Yeah,
and I definitely think that is something that carries over into our personal lives, our social lives, all of that. That kind of brings me to the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about was just staying focused. You mentioned persistence, and that really, that's anything you do in life. Your dreams, your goals, you always want to be persistent with it, and just, keep at it. So what are some of the things that you do to stay focused on that? Like for me, I'm still kind of in that beginning phase where I just built my PC not very long ago and just kind of started really taking this seriously. Mm-hmm. And so I still have that kind of like initial spark. So every time I sit down at my computer, if there's nobody on that I really want to play games with, or I'm just kind of not in the mood, or I know that there's something I need to get done, then I'll sit down and I'll edit videos, make thumbnails, like the thumbnail for this podcast I made almost 2 weeks ago, just because I was excited for it. I was still ready to go. But I feel like there comes a point where that kind of fades off, where it almost starts to feel like a job. And so what are some of the things you're either doing or that you've thought about or plan on doing to staying focused and staying as persistent as you've been so far?
What I try to do is just realize that this is something that I've been doing for a while, and if I were to give up on it now, then I would have wasted so much time. Like there's so much time that I could have put elsewhere that I put to this. Like I'm either getting off work and then going straight into streaming for hours and hours because my reasoning of going forward and not giving it up is based on how much I've already had to sacrifice up to this point anyways, and I'm not even to a big part yet. And I know that if I just keep going on and finally hit my goal, it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what I do. It's very similar to that, just kind of like the keeping your head down, just doing what you got to do.
Right.
So just to kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of lighten the mood, what are some games that you're playing right now, or what are some games that you're into, or even maybe games that you want to play? Just kind of talk about like where you're at and like with like the video game industry right now.
Oh boy, well, I'm entirely done with Apex Legends. I do never want to play that game again. I will never play that game again unless I don't know. I just got so burnt out on it. Like battle royales right now, they're not. I mean, they're oversaturated. Don't get me wrong, they are. But there has to be a special game, I guess, when it comes to things like that, for me to say. But I'm playing a lot of Warfare. Lots of Warfare, love it. I feel like I'm good at that game even though I'm trash, but I still think that I'm good at it. GTA 5 right now, running heists with the boys, love it.
Yeah.
If I can get you guys invested on Pummel Party is so much fun. I want everyone to go to Steam right now and buy it, because for $20 and you get like 2 friends, you don't even need friends, honestly. Just go on there with some randoms. Best night you'll have.
I thought it was $10.
$10, that's what I said.
Maybe it is 20. I don't know. I could have sworn it was 10, but it's probably like 15.
But yeah, I mean, like I've still got some, like Hyperscape just came out. I'm trying to feel that out, see how it is. I'm trying to get used to the the fast-paced action of it, because it's a lot different than Warfare or Warzone. Sorry. Honestly, anything else? I'm still waiting. Like, I'm a big Rocket League player. I've been playing that since it dropped free on PSN. So it's been 5 years since, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday. Came out 5 years ago. And then also I play NHL 20. Well, any NHL game, pretty much competitively. So do that as well.
Nice. Yeah, I want to go back to the Apex point. I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm burnt out on Apex as well. I still really like the game. I'm definitely, I mean, I think I've played it once in the past 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, so I totally understand that. I do still think that it's one of the better battle royales. I think it has something special about it.
Sure it does, yeah.
The only thing is, like you said, we played that game so much on PlayStation.
And I mean, I understand, like, oh, that's the life of a content creator. You have to play the same game over and over. Well, first, I don't have to.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to become a pro at a game. Like, I'd love to be good at first-person shooters. But I'd rather just, like, chill and vibe and play fun games like GTA or, like, Pummel Party or, like, even, like, Warzone. Like, I don't take that seriously, so, like, it's cool. But, like, just for some reason, Apex to me is just, like, so sweaty now, and it's like you can only do the same thing over and over again, and there's something about it. And I don't know if it was maybe going from console to PC where I had everything unlocked and everything was awesome and battle pass out the butt, and now I'm coming to PC and it's like, oh, we got 3 legends, good luck. I'm like, oh, gotta start over again. That might be a big part of it, probably is a big part of it now I'm thinking about it, but yeah, there was something about it that got really old really quickly. Even if I did play it for like every day a year straight, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I do. I think, I don't know. I definitely think they're gonna have to do some serious overhauling to bring people back to Apex. Whether it's of the gameplay or the look of it, or I don't know.
Where'd they all go? Did they all, like, because I know everyone has, like, or like Apex fanboys have like their base of Apex and that's all they want to play. But like, do they all go to like Warzone? Like, where are they at? Valorant? Are they at Valorant right now? Like, where's everybody at?
I think it's a little bit of all of it. Between going back to Fortnite, going to Warzone, going to Valorant, now Hyperscape's out. I just think that they've just kind of redispersed. And you're going to have people who want to play, like, who get on one game and only want to play that game for a year. And you're going to have people who like to bounce around on games, you know.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting, too. Like, we're recording this right now on the 12th. And tomorrow is the 13th, which is Twitch Rivals. And I'll be really interested because they're actually having Hyperscape in Twitch Rivals. So I'm really interested to see what the like content creators / pro players / all the people bring to the table with Hyperscape to see if it like gets a big boost from Rivals.
Right.
So it'll be really cool to see.
Really interesting to see. I mean, I think it's a good game. I could see myself getting tired of it fairly quickly, but I do think that it's a really good game.
Like, as fast paced as it is, like, if you, I wouldn't even say if you're like not good at first person shooters, but like if you try to just go in there and like play, like your first like 10 games of playing Hyperscape are going to be you dying within like the first like 2 minutes. And I could see people getting burnt out of that because like how quickly it goes.
Yeah.
Because that's really how it feels. Like, I'll be sitting there and I'll either get, you know, the final, the ring or whatever it's called, like the crown comes out and, you know, you're the final like 7 or 6 teams or whatnot. Or I see myself dying pretty much on drop, picking up weapons, looting a house. And the map is relatively big and everybody drops from different angles of the map. But it just feels like as quickly as it goes, within 2 minutes, you're always like in a firefight and you either win that firefight or you lose and on to the next game.
I think it has to do with the movement speed in that game. I think that has pretty much everything to do with that. You know, because I look at like Modern Warfare or Warzone. And it's very, you might fight one team and then, you're back to not seeing anybody for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But then in Apex, it's a little bit step up from that, and you can move around the map a little bit quicker. And, the third party thing becomes a serious issue. I mean, you can almost third party someone from across the map if you try hard enough.
I also feel like that's a problem too with Hyperscape, because as quickly as it does, like all the battles happen and everything, or like as the pace of action, I should say, like you'll hear, like the map is big, like I said, but like it's also small enough to where like if you hear shots, you'll honestly attract or if you shoot off a weapon or something, you're going to attract like 3 or 4 teams, like they're going to be coming.
Yeah.
And it just feels like if you survive one firefight, you're about to get third partied, and if you survive that, you're about to get fourth partied, and there's so much chaos that goes on at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. But it's something different.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I said, I'm excited for Rivals tomorrow. I'll be playing because I'm a professional.
Definitely.
Just kidding.
All right. Was there anything else you wanted to add? Any side notes, comments, anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, today's topic was kind of about just like the ups and downs of streaming and how to stick with it. So if I have any message to anybody, it's, try to prioritize it right. Make sure that you don't like push anybody away, but also make sure that you're focusing on what you want to do. And making sure that you do this enough to where you can make it a full-time thing, because the only thing that really stops somebody from doing this and keeping up with it is themselves, because they don't actually want to sit down and do it. And just don't get frustrated or flustered when you're only sitting there with a couple viewers, if not like 0 to 1 viewers at a time when you first start out. Because even right now, like I've got almost 70 followers and I'll stream for 4 or 5 hours at a time. And I've seen it before where like I'm only just sitting with like 1 or 2 viewers. So like it's just something that happened, and just don't get frustrated, keep with it, stay determined, and go through with it.
All right, well, this has been Content with Content episode 2 featuring AlphaZero. Like I said, if you want to check out his socials, feel free to follow him on Twitch at twitch.tv/AlphaZeroTTV, correct?
Yep, AlphaZeroTTV, on Twitter at AlphaZeroTV, on YouTube at AlphaZeroTV. So everything but Twitch is AlphaZeroTV, and then Twitch itself is twitch.tv/AlphaZeroTTV.
All right. You explained that far better than I would have, so I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming to the podcast. I hope it was at least semi-entertaining. Looking forward to the next few episodes. Kind of breaking out of this mold with talking about just what it's like being a content creator, and kind of diving more into the technical aspects of things, the hardships of certain things, and even just talking about video games, kind of like we started to get into tonight. But yeah, like I said, thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out, and thanks Ian, aka AlphaZero, for taking the time to record this with me and just to be on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, and I will be talking to my people to have them talk to your people to get me back on.
Sounds fantastic.